It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Niners and the Vikings. And it's all up next.
It's one of the NFL's newest venues, but it's already earned a reputation as one of its best. This is US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Welcome, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Heward calling this contest for you. And right now, we're putting the secondaries on notice because we have a couple of wide receiver rooms, not just dudes, rooms that can test every level of a defense.
Yeah, it's more than just the headliner, right? We know the top options, but for these offenses, it's the depth at the wide receiver room that's such a big deal. If you overcommit to the biggest playmaker, a couple other players, well, they could hit you down the field just as easily. And with how both offenses love to mix up their routes and looks in the passing game, you better buckle up in the secondary.
King Booty now ready to get this one started. And we're off from US Bank Stadium. On the return, here comes Kene Wangu. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. So here come the Vikings, taking the field for their first drive of the game. And they're brought out by the 10th pick of the 2024 draft, a national champion at Michigan, J.J. McCarthy.
All J.J. has ever done in his career, no matter where he's been, is win. And there is something to that. I know at times it's hard to measure how much of it was him, how much of it the people around him. Most importantly, just ask his teammates over the years. They love playing with him. That is a characteristic that's important, and I don't think talked about enough, Kate. Do your guys in the huddle want to play for you? Do they believe in you? Everywhere J.J. has been, he's lit up that huddle, and success has followed.
No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Jones once more. He's going to snag a couple of yards, charging up the gut. Brought down by Fred Warner. Just a couple on the pickup there, so back-to-back runs leave him with a 3rd and 8.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
McCarthy throwing on 3rd down. That's caught for the first. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Now hang on, looks like somebody came out after that play a little shaken up. Not sure we saw exactly what happened, but he'll get some assistance now. They'll come up 1st and 10. Running right, this is Jones. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
2nd down carry for Jones. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A couple yards on the run. It's 3rd and 6 now. From the shotgun, McCarthy. He has the first over the middle. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
They just keep working it forward early. We've got 1st and 10 now from the 35. They give to Jones, right side. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of this. That was Devondre Campbell making the tackle. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on first down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Staying on the ground with Jones. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, they eschewed the pass to try and bring up 3rd and short via a little more conservative ground call, but it backfired. You know, the defense, they'll look for keys up front, and they fired off the line knowing the run was coming, and boy, they busted it before it could get back to the line.
Throw on 3rd down. Escapes the... Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
I think his decision-making wrote a check that his legs couldn't catch this time. This QB could run, and he's ranging, looking for space, looking for an outlet. But there was none to be had. No escape route available this time.
Now we'll see Ryan Wright come on for the Vikings to punt this away on 4th. And this one hits first at the 3 before continuing on into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the 49ers now to take over for the first time. Leading them out, a player known, yes, for that draft status, but also as a great methodical passer. I know you love this guy, Brock. The last pick of the 2022 draft, it's Brock Purdy.
You know, Kate, people won't stop recognizing Brock Purdy as Mr. Irrelevant right at first, but they better start recognizing his game. He shed that label of his draft status to me long ago. He proved there is no fluke to his talent. He knows how to see it, how to feel it, how to deliver it, and most importantly, he knows how to elevate the people around him.
And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Brought to the ground by Cameron Bynum. We managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
That's McCaffrey working the sideline.
This is one of those plays, Kate. I could just hear defensive buzzwords. Pursue, effort, run him down. Just a total effort defensively to knock that running back right out of bounds and put a negative yardage mark on the stat sheet.
3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. Looking to throw, Purdy. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. Wideouts getting involved in the ground game. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
That is teaching tape for a linebacker. Read, react, and finish.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Purdy throwing here. We've got a screen to the running back. He winds up out of bounds, but things not settled yet. So we've got a flag down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, you know this better than most, Brock. Screens normally leave some rushers to come free, but still, it's not often you get roughing the passer on one.
No, it isn't, but I think of Tom Brady. To me, not only the greatest QB sneaker in the game, but he was one of the great screen masters, too. He understood how to sell a screen, draw those defenders to him, and like the QB did right there, sometimes they'll even tee off and you get the penalty.
Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up.
You know, that's a good run right there. Keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
Working out of the gun, it's Purdy. Flush down now to his left. The pressure's there, and it closes in on him. He's trapped for the sack, and that is what should bring us to the end of this opening quarter. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up. We finished one quarter in what's still a scoreless game. Hopefully no shortage of excitement coming up in the second. More from US Bank Stadium after the break. We're back, and it's 49ers football as we resume. They're looking at 3rd and very long. Shotgun snap for Purdy. Bails out of the pocket quick. He gets a little something out of it before sliding to a stop.
I love that play. I mean, that's quarterback 101. Nothing downfield. Get what you can with your legs, but so much more importantly, protect yourself. Availability, one of the most important abilities for any quarterback.
Fourth down now, and on comes Jake Moody for the 49ers field goal. It's from the right hash, 46 yards. Moody knocks it through, and they're on the board.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. Ty Chandler to return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Minnesota all set to go for a second drive. They're coming up on first points of the ball game. They're going to take over now, trailing 3-zip. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. On play action now, McCarthy. Connects with his back, Aaron Jones. And he'll head out of bounds after a short gain.
Kid, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason, where one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Jones trying the left side. And defenders continue to swarm over to get him at the line. Call it no gain on the play, and that brings up 3rd and 9.
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
And the 49ers in a nickel set. 3rd down coming. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. Rolling left, buying some time. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And it'll bring up a Minnesota 1st down.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. A give left side to Jones. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field.
Holding offense.
A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. So now, after the penalty, it's 1st and 15. Running it after the penalty. He's contained at the line for no gain. Brought down by Fred Warner. They don't get anything on first, and now they face 2nd and 15.
You want to see the term read and react with a little video in the football dictionary? That's it.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Running back sent in motion. 2nd and 15. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And it brings up 3rd down. Empty backfield now. The running back motions out left. Jones reels it in. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down.
It's plays like that, Kate, right wrong, where I sit and judge a defense. I judge the awareness. I judge how well that coordinator's got him equipped to see what's going on the field, and not just see it, but attack it. And they devoured that screen game on 3rd down.
The Vikings getting their punt team out. Ooh, it's away, but he knows he mishit that one. Headed for the sideline. So this one will go out of bounds, and they'll start the drive inside their own 30. San Francisco headed out for its 2nd possession of the game. And they were able to contribute 3 points to the lead their last time out. Another chance to build on that advantage here. They're out and set. 1st and 10. On the ground to begin the drive with McCaffrey. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. That tackle made by Blake Cashman. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8. From the gun is Purdy. They'll get it to Brandon Ayuk. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
First down throw by Purdy. Completed here to McCaffrey. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. It's a gain of 12 there. And it brings up a San Francisco 1st down. They kick the running back in motion. Purdy on 1st down. Brought in by Ayuk. And they're going to take this in for the San Francisco touchdown. The 49ers grow their lead just before halftime. It's a Brandon Ayuk touchdown. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the 1st half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
Jake Moody on for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the 49ers make it a 10-point ball game. Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. Chandler now on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense trotting out. They now trail by double digits after that last score, Brock. It's 10-0 partway through here. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Now McCarthy. Gets it to him on the screen. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
1st down, ball at the 36. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Has a man, Justin Jefferson. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the 1st down.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
1st and 10. Here's McCarthy. Pass is caught. It's T.J. Hawkinson. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. The Vikings call a timeout. It'll be their first, as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Back to the air, McCarthy. He's on the... This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth. But a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
On 3rd and long, it's McCarthy. Finds him over the middle. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Ryan Wright on to punt. And he's going to try to give his defense a long field to defend. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. And they're facing a long field ahead of them as that kick skips out near the 11. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. Looks like they'll play it safe with a run to the outside. And he's brought down for a loss. So that's halftime here in this one. The 49ers on the road, but currently with the lead. Now we'll get you down to our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Report with Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both these teams making their way out of the tunnel, and we're ready for the 2nd half. And for the call, we send it back to Kate Scott and the other blonde bomber, Brock Heward.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the 2nd half. Here's Reichert set to kick this away. Danny Gray to return it. This return makes it up to the 25. We'll see the San Francisco offense first this half as they're headed out now. The drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They'll start this one on the ground with McCaffrey. And he gets up for a gain of about 4.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule. That kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Running back, motioning right. Purdy gets this from the pistol. They'll just huck this one into row C, and some lucky fan is going to haul in a heck of a souvenir. So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Tight end motioning right. On 3rd down, Purdy. That finds Ayuk, complete. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
McCaffrey running between the tackles. And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry.
If there's ever a play we could call garden variety in the NFL, I think we just saw it right there. That's an uneventful run. Pretty sound stop there defensively.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. A tight end in motion now. On 2nd down, here's McCaffrey. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Ivan Pace able to make the stop.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Purdy looking to throw. Into traffic, complete. And he'll be brought down a step or 2 shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the 1st down.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. They cross the 40 on a nice run. And they'll finally get him at the 35-yard line. 16 yards on the play. And that's a 49er 1st down.
They had the 1st down by a comfortable margin right there. Remember that play call. Put that one away. Could be a money play for them the next time they're in a similar spot.
Purdy throwing here on 1st. Kittle brings it in. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
All right, all set up now. 1st and 10. Handoff headed left to McCaffrey. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Brought to the ground by Cameron Bynum. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. Now they send their back in motion right. 2nd and 8. Escapes the pocket. He can run it. And he slides down with enough to pick up that 1st. He picks up 15 on the play. And now they have a 1st and goal.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play. And denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Now Purdy. And he's going to have the touchdown. We'll see if he gets to keep this, though, Brock. We've got some laundry on the field.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
He was downfield in a hurry, hoping to help with the play, but that effort cost some points as the penalty wipes out that touchdown.
Still first down.
So now, after being backed up just a bit, another 1st and goal. Shotgun snap for Purdy. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. And that makes it 2nd and goal. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
That throw doesn't lead to 6. So they'll be left with 3rd and goal.
Well, I'll tell you what that deflection is all about is following the quarterback's eyes. DB knew where that throw was going. With that intuition, he's able to get a hand on it and send it right out of bounds.
3rd and goal, Purdy. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. George Kittle, the intended receiver. And that forces them to 4th and goal. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it. Well, that's why they spend all the time on the practice field during the week. That kind of operation. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing, and a 2 for 2 for this kicker.
Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. Chandler now on the return. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Vikings offense back to the field now. And what's really been simply stunning, Brock, is how far we've made it into the game, and their passing game, it is still grounded.
Yeah, so as they're sitting here losing right now, what I hear you saying, Kate, is it's time for this offense to take flight?
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Starting the drive with a give to Jones. And they're all over him again. He's dropped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. From the shotgun, McCarthy. He's on the move. He's running with it. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Diamador Lenore, they're on the stop.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that. And it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
Motion man right is Jefferson. McCarthy throwing on 3rd down. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. This is the end of the 3rd quarter. It's Vikings football. They're down, but not out on the scoreboard. Markers reset, ball at the 37. Here's McCarthy, 1st and 10. Throw left side, brought in by Hawkinson. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And that's going to give the Vikings the first down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. Escapes the pocket. And he evades any kind of trouble, but only a short gain to show for it after sliding down.
That is quarterback play 101. Maybe not the first chapter of it, but man, is that important. Getting downfield, get what you can with your legs, then most importantly, protect yourself. Get down and don't take any extra contact.
Here's 2nd and 7. Too much lead on that throw. That falls incomplete ahead of his target. Jordan Addison, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he works this to the 38 before going down.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Desperation time here on 4th. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. That's a clutch 7-yard pickup, and it pays off the call to go for it on 4th down.
I love those moments of truth. We get to see exactly how they handle it when all the pressure that drives right on them. Turns out, handled it pretty darn well, and now they'll keep pushing on.
Throwing on 1st, it's McCarthy. Touchdown, Minnesota! We've seen him do a lot more to reach the end zone on a catch, Brock. That one was kind of fed right to him.
Yeah, they say the running backs have a nose for the end zone. You know who else does? Every skill guy out there, because they want to put a touchdown on the board.
Now it's Will Reichert on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Vikings get it back to within 6. So here's the kickoff, Brock. Just 6 points now separating our teams. Gray now on the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Now out comes the San Francisco offense. And after that touchdown, cut their lead back to 1 score, Brock. A response in order as they take over. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. From the gun is Purdy. Has him on the quick hitter. Continuing to move past the 45. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them in a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
Only one play in, Brock, and this drive already to midfield. Trying an inside give now with McCaffrey. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. They stick with McCaffrey. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. Just 2 yards there on the carry. They're going to need another 2 now on 3rd down. Looking to throw. He has the first over the middle. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. They get an even 10 on that play. And it brings up a San Francisco 1st down.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. 1st down throw by Purdy. Completed here to McCaffrey. And he's taken down after gaining a couple. That's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. A give, left side to McCaffrey. And he's going to take this down inside the 25 before being stopped. With 1:54 remaining, the defense burns a timeout. Third down, 1 yard to go. Going run again with McCaffrey. And again, they stall him out at the line. He couldn't get it. Looks like they will indeed try it. 4th and 2. Looking to throw. He finds him beyond the marker. And he's brought down. They're going to mark him at the 14. Now the Vikings use their 3rd and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. They drop to a knee, and what little time we have left here is going to tick down.
There's still some time to bleed off the clock, but the important factor is that the defense is helpless to stop it. You could just run that clock down as far as you're able and take off every single second.
2nd down, probably going to see him kneel it again here. Now a give, McCaffrey. And he runs it inside the 10 to the 9. Give him 6 yards on the run, so it's going to be 3rd and 5.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run, but I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw. Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
Jake Moody now in a high-pressure spot. This only a chip shot from the right hash. Moody knocks it through, and that'll make it a 2-score game. So it's a win for the visiting 49ers. Well, Brock, we knew they were confident in the lead-up, that they could contend despite the hostile crowd they were going to face today, and boy, did they ever. Once they got going, they showed out, they backed up that confidence, and they leave here with a victory.
Oh, it takes so much work, Kate, so much work, even beyond what people hear about through the week or see in the game itself, to overcome somebody defending their home field. You need to be playing at your highest level, and you need to BYOE, bring your own energy. Whenever you take it on the road and you win one, gosh, it feels so good. What a signature victory.